friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I want to make another video about KOTOR. Now, it is my opinion that we are going to be getting a KOTOR character in the next couple of days. If you've watched my last video, you know exactly who I am talking about. I will mention this person again here in a little bit. Now, one thing before I actually get into this was sent to me earlier today. The KOTOR release for Europe was set on September the 12th, 2003. Now, does that mean anything? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I didn't know that. Someone had to send that to me. Gotta give mad props to Scott DeLua of Korriban. Thank you for traveling all the way from Korriban to provide me this information. But that could be a huge clue as to what we're going to be getting. We're all speculating about a bunch of random crap. I think it's very possible and probable that we will be getting someone from KOTOR. But here's the thing. Based on what we have, the original playable characters from the first KOTOR video game aren't completely in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, they don't have to be, of course. It doesn't make, it makes sense for characters to be left out and some characters to be added. I get that. But they've added some really core characters and they've left out some other really core characters. Now, we are still technically in the second quarter of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes fiscal year. And what that means to me is that we're still going to be getting some marquee events for the next couple of weeks. Quite possibly 2 marquee events for the next couple of weeks. But here are the characters that we're missing from KOTOR. Now, I am leaving out anyone who is a non-playable character. I'm specifically leaving out Darth Malak. I'm specifically leaving out Revan. There is one character that I do think is a non-playable character who I would love to see added to the game. So I am including that person. But let's go ahead and just kind of jump into it. First and foremost, the person who I think might be coming to the game on September 12th is Canderous Ordo. Now, Canderous Ordo was a Mandalorian badass. He was awesome. He carried this awesome repeating blaster. He eventually became Mandalore, I think the Preserver, which would be a really cool introduction to the game. SWGOH isn't canon. It doesn't have to follow canon. But man, it would be really sweet to show Canderous some love, because I've said this before and I'll say it again, I'm sure. We need a Mandalorian faction. We need characters with a Mandalorian tag. We have a handful of characters with Mandalorian tags or who would officially have a Mandalorian tag who just don't. I think it would be sweet. I think it would be really freaking cool for that to happen. Now, will it? I don't know. I don't think that we'll get one anytime soon, but it's possible we could. I think Canderous is the character in this teased photo. It's very, very possible. There's a lot of other possibilities that this photo could be of. Someone said it looked like Jango, and they drew the outline of Jango in it, and I can see it once they drew it, but they had to draw it, right? If you clean it up, it still looks very much like a dude wearing either suspenders or a bandolier or something. I think it's Canderous. Now, another main character is Carth Onasi. He is an ace pilot, a widower seeking revenge for the death of his wife and child, who inevitably falls in love with Revan. If you do play Revan as a woman, then Carth and Revan can have like a romantic interest. Carth is a really cool pilot. He's a really cool character. He's got guns. He's a pilot. Did I say he's a pilot? I think he's a really cool character. I really, really like him. I do think that he is a character that we could see simply because with Carth would come the Ebon Hawk. Now, the Ebon Hawk, just imagine the Millennium Falcon had a grandfather who was cooler and didn't look like garbage, and people didn't mistake it for garbage. It still had the same like speed and functionality. It was awesome. That's the Ebon Hawk. And essentially, it's where a lot of the storyline for KOTOR 1, and I think KOTOR 2 actually takes place. Definitely a lot of the character development. As you go in around the ship, you talk with your crew, you talk with your characters, and you get to know them a little better. the Ebon Hawk is a main point of interest for the KOTOR games, and it's left out. Now, obviously, if we get a Carth, we need an Ebon Hawk, which means we would get our first KOTOR ship. And that would be awesome. That would be, if in my mind, the best reason to introduce Carth Onasi, simply to give us an Ebon Hawk. That would be freaking sweet. I would love that. Now, next we have Juhani. Now, Juhani's story is kind of a sad one. She was a slave. She's a Cathar, which is a cat character, a humanoid cat creature. But she was a Cathar who was enslaved. Jedi Revan frees her and then brings her to the temple on Dantooine, and she's trained there, and she's super powerful, but she doesn't know her limits. And her master's like, "Hey, I've taught you everything I need to know, so let's fight." And they fight, and Juhani kills her master, right? Well, didn't kill her. She didn't kill her master. She kills her master. And so because the master feigned death, Juhani's like, "Oh, I killed the master. I've moved to the dark side." And so she runs off. Jedi Revan finds her again, or Padawan Revan, the main character of the game, says, "Hey, boom, come back. You didn't kill your master. You're not evil. You're not part of the dark side, whatever." She comes back. She's powerful. She's a Force user. I think she's classified as a Jedi. I don't rightly remember if that's the way that they leave her, but she's definitely a cool character. And I don't know, she does fall in love with Revan again. Really, what this shows me is Revan is the true scoundrel of KOTOR, because man, he's breaking hearts left and right, or she's breaking hearts left and right, depending on how you played her in the game, how you played the character. Finally, and this is the reason I kind of wanted to make this video today, is Calo Nord. Now, we've gotten KOTOR, right? And we've gotten some bounty hunters. If they're going to continue on with the KOTOR bounty hunter group, it would make sense for them to give us Calo Nord. Now, Calo Nord, I mean, super bad A. He is awesome. He was a bounty hunter who was hired by Malak to find Bastila Shan. And he's one of the bosses, essentially, in KOTOR. Great character. Man of few words, but a man of many talents. And he's got double blasters. He's got a vibro blade. He's got goggles that make him see in low light. He, in Star Wars miniatures, or the board game from Wizards of the Coast, he had grenades and other things that would make him fit in really well with the current bounty hunter setup that we have. And that would just be sweet. He is a powerful, powerful, powerful bounty hunter. And if he was added to the game, or if he were added to the game, then he would definitely be one of the top bounty hunters. And if he was, it would be a cool way to round out this KOTOR bounty hunter rework, and then they could move on. That would be cool. That would be really sweet. And again, he's a great character. He's got a cool hat. He wears this weird looking vest. He's awesome. Do I think that we will get Malak and Revan? Yes, I absolutely do. I don't think that we're going to be getting Malak until February. I think Malak will be coming as part of the February Sith that we've been getting. They have been emphasizing this for the last 2 years. These specific Sith come in for the month of February, right? Because February is all about love and passion and romance and anger and the dark side, whatever, right? Maybe that's the cynical version of February, but maybe it's not. Who knows? What I think is that Malak will come because of all the characters that we've got. So far, we've only got dark side characters introduced during the month of February, with the exception of Visas Mar. Now, Visas was a dark side character who turned. Now, it's also possible they could start using February as a month to introduce more KOTOR 2 characters because Visas Mars from KOTOR 2. Now I think this time next year they will introduce a KOTOR 2 revival or a KOTOR 2 whatever. That would be cool. That's where I see this going. I don't think we're going to get Revan until his movie comes out, which I totally believe that the directors of Game of Thrones are the ones making a Revan movie, or at least a KOTOR movie. I think that's where we'll see Revan in and around those times. I think they're waiting. I do not think Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is going anywhere anytime soon. Now, here's the thing. If the game does start tanking, I think they'll throw Revan out as kind of a last ditch. I don't think the game will end before we see Revan, but I don't see the game ending anytime soon. Now, I do think those 4 characters will be added to the game. Canderous Ordo, Carth Onasi, Juhani, Calo Nord are all characters that probably will be added to the game because they're very powerful characters and they're very possible characters. I totally see that. They are also the only ones still missing. Minus Calo Nord. The other ones are the only ones still missing from the original playable cast. I do think it's something we could see. I do think it's something we should see. Will we see it? Fingers crossed we'll see it in the month of September. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the section below. Check out the links in the section below as well. I'm doing some other offers. Join us on Discord, guys, because that is where much of my content ideas come from. It's from you guys. I love this community. It's so much fun talking about this stuff. As always, my friends, stay nerdy.